Hi everyone, this is Kelsey. I'm just going to highlight some of the major differences between version 1.7 and version 2.0 of Beyond Labs. Right now I have version 1.7 open here on my computer. In version 1.7, each one of the lab modules you install directly onto your computer. The worksheets are also installed directly onto the user's computer. And the settings for each of the lab modules, which levels they open to, are controlled here from the Settings tab. Lastly, each user has a license code that comes from an activation code that they plugged in. This is also tied specifically to one computer, which is something that we have changed with version 2.0. You cannot have both versions 1.7 and version 2.0 running at the same time, and so I'm going to close version 1.7 before taking a look at version 2.0. The first thing you'll notice that is different about version 2.0 is that we are starting out here in the web browser. Each user in version 2.0 has to create a user account with a valid email address and a password of their choice. New users can come here to the register button to set up that account. I already have mine created. Couple of benefits of having these accounts. The license for each user will, instead of being tied to the computer, will be tied to each account. And so users are free to move between computers. They will come here and sign into their account, and then they will need, as I'll show you in a second, to have the labs they would like to use downloaded locally onto their computer, but they won't be taking up more than one license if they move between computers to do this. Another benefit of having the account set up this way is that institutions and instructors who are interested in knowing which of their students have registered for Beyond Labs, that is now something that we can check for you as long as you have the email addresses of the students that they use to create their accounts. We can go through and verify via their email addresses that students have in fact created accounts with Beyond Labs. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. Some of the aspects of the software are still downloaded directly onto the user's computer. I mentioned that the lab modules are, and for that reason, the second page we come to has the option to download a small program called Beyond Labs Connect. This program communicates between your browser, where you've entered your account and where your license resides, and the lab modules that are installed onto your computer, telling the lab modules on your computer that you do have an active license and that you should be able to use them. It's a quick download that can be done here for first-time users, and if you're an existing user, you'll simply click Connect to open up Beyond Labs Connect, and then click Open, and then it will take you into the labs page. The labs are the 5 same labs that we've had in version 1.7. These little icons where it says open will say install, much like they did in version 1.7. Rather than changing the middle school, high school, higher ed settings from a separate tab, however, each of the little icons here indicates what level the lab module will open up to. So you can see in this case I have higher education selected for general chemistry, and you can see that each one of the lab modules has icons as appropriate. The worksheets are not installed onto the user's computer any longer. They are also hosted on the web. So for example, if I wanted to look at a distillation technique worksheet in organic chemistry, I can click to open it. The PDF now opens up here in my web browser. These PDFs and worksheets are the same as they have been before. They just open here rather than on a PDF viewer in the user's computer. The most up-to-date versions of the labs and the worksheets in terms of bug fixes and mistakes and added new content will be available through version 2.0, and so we would recommend that you move to version 2.0 so that you can have access to those newest things. The lab installs from version 2.0 are also a lot smoother, and the lab files get installed into places on your computer where they can be more easily accessed and worked with. And so we have already experienced many fewer problems having people install the labs via version 2.0 versus version 1.7. Those are the main differences between the two versions. I hope that was helpful.